Hi, welcome to the Russ and Vince Courtside Podcast. I'm your host, Vince. Before we go into the video, please hit that like and subscribe button down below if you enjoy our videos. Let's get right into it. I'm. Ooh, hold up. Testing. Testing, testing. Okay, I think we are live. I think we're good now. Let me see. Yep, we're good. All right. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Technical difficulties. So, of course, yes, I am your host, Vince here. Unfortunately, our boy Russ is not going to make it to today's show. He is out on vacation with his family. Many blessings to you, Russ. Definitely appreciate the work that you did going over the game one of yesterday's matchup between the Knicks and the Pacers. You did a great job, my friend. Go ahead and enjoy your time with your family, man. But man, we had ourselves a great game to say the least between today's matchup with OKC and Minnesota. Today was game two. And I mean, what else is there to say? OKC, man, they showed up and showed out. They did exactly what they needed to do, what they expected to do. This team all year round has been talked about as the best team in the league from the very start to the very beginning. And they are still reminding us and showing us why, right? You got this very deep OKC team led by SGA, who just got crowned the MVP award today. Shout out to you, SGA. The only thing wrong with the MVP award that I saw, okay, was that it was a normal MVP trophy when in reality it should have been a MVP trophy like this because of all the free throws that he hits. Okay. That's the only problem I have with SGA getting the MVP. But nonetheless, my friend, congratulations on winning the MVP. You definitely deserved it. You had a great season. Really, your team had a great season because now apparently this year's narrative, the reason why you got it is because of the team success. Even though last year they gave it to Jokic, not because of team success. So I don't know. I can never understand the MVP narratives that the league comes out with every year. But nonetheless, SJ, you did good. Um, One thing I do want to say, and you know what? I'm gonna just keep it a stack. If you're an OKC fan, right, you may want to skip this part. So I'd say I'm gonna probably give myself like a good 2-3 minute rant here. All right. But I gotta just do it. I got to because at the end of the day, I don't want to be known as a hater. Yes, I am a Lakers fan, okay? But I'm very non-biased when it comes to certain teams, certain styles, what I like to see, what I don't like to see. And I kind of want to talk about something that I've noticed online a lot, but also amongst some of my friends, amongst a lot of talking heads that love basketball. Something that I think is, well, let's just talk about it, right? Why do people not like OKC? Now, obviously, like I said, if you're a Thunder fan, you're probably like, oh, they're probably just jealous, because we got the MVP. Oh, they're probably jealous because their team is home. Oh, they're probably jealous because, we just are better, right? Wrong. There's lots of great teams that have played so far and great teams still left right now. You guys are one of them. That's not at all the reason why a lot of people are not rooting for OKC. The reason why a lot of people are not rooting for OKC or why they just don't like OKC is not because you're a small market basketball team. It's not because the fact that you guys are not televised as much as you deserve. I'll give you that. It's because of the way that this team's leader, who ironically just took home the MVP, plays. There's multiple times in situations where this man doesn't even seem to actually make a regular basketball play. He's just looking for the foul. It's annoying. It's actual annoying basketball. Like if you just took away what SGA did, we can all tolerate it. We can all bow down and say, "Yeah, man, this is a great team, man." And they still are. Don't get it twisted. They're a really good basketball team. You can see it all the way through. Their depth is one of a kind. I don't think I've seen this level of team defense collectively in a long time, a very long time. OKC is for sure, they built up to this point. What Sam Presti has done with this roster over the years, constructing all these young pieces who are now coming into their own. They've built that culture led by SGA, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams. I respect it. That's not the reason why people don't like OKC. It's literally just the isolated fact that SGA seems to not only get all the calls, because we're used to seeing certain players get all the calls, certain situations, right? It's just the fact that during the game, it's almost like he doesn't care to actually just go out there and do what he's great at doing. He can get the mid range shot whenever he wants. We've seen it. He's very, in some ways, Kobe esque, right? We've seen him be able to get to the bucket and finish around the rim. He was very efficient in this game. Again, we're not annoyed at SGA's play. We're annoyed at the fact that for some weird reason, he has multiple occasions where he's looking like the second coming of skinny James Harden. Like if you look at James Harden in the year that he won MVP, arguably that should have went to LeBron James that season in 2018. Just saying. But if you look at James Harden, what do they have to do the year after he won the MVP? They basically had to change the rules so that he wouldn't just get all these freaking fouls that were being called, not just in the regular season, but in the postseason. So, from a non OKC lens, when we're watching this game, like I just watched this game not long ago, just like I watched game one. Game one was atrocious, an embarrassment, because in the first 4 seconds of the game, SJ had went to the line for like 7 free throws in 4 minutes. It's ridiculous. Completely compromised the Minnesota Timberwolves game plan, I'm pretty sure, for game one because of the foul troubles that they had. Rudy Gobert had 2 fouls early on. McDaniels had 2 early fouls early on. Anthony couldn't get it together until later in the game when it was already over. The bench didn't show up. So it's just like you want to see better officiating overall. I don't mind if OKC blows the knock out of the Timberwolves, right? If they really just played well, they can do that. We've already seen it. But when you're seeing pivotal moments where it's like swings, right? Where if OKC goes on a run and then you see the Timberwolves going on a run and then something stupid happens, like SJ just foul baiting out of nowhere and it completely sucks the energy out of the Timberwolves, which we saw today when McDaniels literally had a moment at towards the end of the game where he just was frustrated because as he's trying to guard full court against SGA is literally grabbing his arm like a James Harden move. And he's just literally like, are you guys not going to call this? Apparently not. So he decides to literally just push him and makes it a point like, bro, you're soft. Like, get out of here. That's how a lot of outside OKC fans are looking at how SGA plays as well as his OKC team. We respect OKC for sure. You guys deserve the respect. But at the same time, you got to do better, man. The refs, you got to do better. We've already been unfortunately robbed of some really good games this regular season because of the foul baiting that you guys have let SGA get away with. But at the same time, you can't deny that this is a solid team. This team is really good. They deserve what they're doing. I give them credit, but at the same time, like just do better. I just want to see some clean basketball. If you're going to allow there to be some physicality, let the physicality happen all the way through, not just when it conveniently works in SGA's favor, because most of these fouls that we're seeing that are egregious are always oddly with SGA being the person drawing the contact. But when it's on the other end, they're not calling anything or they're rarely calling it very inconsistently. So if it was consistent, you can't be upset about it, but it's because of the fact that it's so egregious and it's so clear that they're allowing SGA to get away with certain things, almost to the point where they're not even calling certain fouls that SGA actually has, as well as some of the Thunder players. I'm pretty sure towards the end of that fourth quarter, something that nobody even really talked about with the inconsistency, Alex Caruso literally whacked Anthony Edwards in the head during the time he got fouled out, but they didn't even think twice to go look at the actual monitor. I guarantee you, if that was SGA or SGA, I'm just going to keep it that way, they're going to go look at that monitor and see what's going on. So, again, it's just these are the reasons why a lot of people who are not OKC fans They're not haters. It's just these are why they don't like OKC, or maybe why they're not rooting for OKC. It's not obviously because of your talent. You're very clearly talented. It's just the way that your star player gets away with certain things, and it's so obvious. It's just annoying to watch. It's almost like you just want to see them fail just for that very reason alone. But enough of that rant. I'm sorry. I just had to get out there, man. We're going to go right into this game because this was a very interesting game to say the least. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, we're going to go really into the box score here in just a second and really talk about what we saw and what led to basically the Timberwolves not getting really close enough to get this win, right? So just kind of looking on the Timberwolves side, right? What was the story of the first game? So the story of the first game was very simple. It seemed to be Julius Randle, and that was it. There was no showing from beg my pardon, not SGA. There was no showing whatsoever from Anthony Edwards. He didn't show up outside of maybe the first 4 minutes of that first game, but after that, he just kind of disappeared. Right? We all heard the stats in the fourth quarter. He had 0 points in the fourth quarter of that game one. Well, he definitely made an emphasis in this game too to be a lot more aggressive. You wish that you'd see him stop trying to chuck up these threes all the damn time, but at the same time, clearly this offense it runs through him. If he wants to chuck up threes, they're going to let him. If he wants to take all the shots, they're going to let him. I did want to see him be a little bit more aggressive than he was in that last game, and he definitely showed up. In this particular case, I would definitely say that this was one of those games where Anthony Edwards did show up. Jaden McDaniels showed up. Even the bench showed up this time. But where was Julius Randle? All playoff season, to be honest with you, going back to the Lakers matchup, he was doing good. I mean, arguably, Randle kind of won that Lakers matchup as well as the Warriors matchup alone, just from the consistency and play that he was doing. He was averaging, I think, like 26 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. He was very physical and would get away with a lot of contact a lot of times, not just defensively, but offensively. But I don't know if it's just this OKC team or maybe they saw something. I would say going back to the start of the second half from the first game, OKC has been doing a phenomenal job with Julius Randle. He only scored 8 points all of that second half going back to game one. He scored 6 points total in this game alone, 2 for 11. That's not going to cut it. Minus 15, not going to cut it. There were a lot of times where you could tell if you could tell early on in the game, they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt with your physicality. It almost psychologically forces you to kind of try to change your style of play. So you could kind of see a lot of times he was hesitant to really do what he was doing a lot of the times, bullying his way into the paint because of the way that the refs were not calling certain things. As you can see, he had 4 turnovers. A lot of that was because he was trying to force the occasion in the paint rather than just kind of getting a open look through the flow of the game. He was trying to force the occasion a lot of times, and it just didn't work in his favor. But then one of the things that I was kind of noticing, and it really isn't just this particular matchup, it is really all playoffs long. But before I do, real quick, you guys, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Turn your notifications on so if we ever go live like we are right now, you'll get notified so you can tune in case you didn't watch the game or in case you guys want to see some good content from me, my boy Russ, or both of us together when we happen to get on the show at the same time. And of course, if you enjoy the video, hit the like and share with your friends as well in case they do like our content. Real quick, I do want to shout out my boy Jeff here. Nice to see you, man. Let me go ahead and address your question before I get into my topic that I want to bring up. Yeah, bro, Shea almost fouled out. He did almost foul out, but think of it this way. He may have almost fouled out, but by the time he almost fouled out, the game was already kind of decided, in my opinion, at least. The game was already kind of decided. By the time he picked up his 5th foul, it literally took, I don't know, it took him literally making a boneheaded decision, pushing who was that? I think it was his cousin, if I'm not mistaken. Nikhil Alexander. Yeah. If it wasn't for him being stupid at that moment and just pushing Nikhil out of the way when he really didn't have to do that because they already had inside position to get the rebound, he was going to be fine. And to be honest with you, he was dominating the entire game up to this point. that it really didn't make a difference, to be honest with you. Yeah, minus 15 is very crazy. Minus 15, I mean, if you think that's crazy, just look at Anthony Edwards. Even though he had a great scoring output and a much better aggressive outing, he was actually the second worst in this one. He was a minus 22. So it just goes to show, even when you're scoring, it doesn't really make a huge difference. Um, he just, he did what he did, but at the same time, it wasn't enough. But just going back to my point here, you guys, what I want to actually talk about here that I kind of noticed, um, that's not really being talked about a lot in terms of this, you know, postseason overall, is Mike Conley. Now, I've known Mike Conley since his days back as a Memphis Grizzly. Like, I don't even think people remember he used to be a Memphis Grizzly. Yes, Mike Conley used to be a Memphis Grizzly way back when with Zebo and yeah. So I remember watching him back in the day. He was a very good two-way point guard, specifically on the defensive end. And then even you saw his time in Utah. He was very effective, did his thing. And then early on with the Timberwolves, was a great leader, still is in some ways. But you got to wonder, is having Mike Conley out there, and again, I know we're talking plus minus here. He was a plus 14, which is really weird. That's why sometimes these plus minuses you can't always, it doesn't really always make sense, right? But when you're watching the game and you're looking at impact, Mike Conley did not really impact this game, but he also hasn't really impacted this team overall in the playoffs. Mike Conley has not really done much. I can't remember the last time he's had a double digit scoring output. I can't remember the last time he's had a double digit assist output. I mean, he's kind of just like out there getting cardio. Like, if you're a Lakers fan, he's kind of like a Gabe Vincent. And I hate to say that, but he's known as Cardio Gabe, right? During the regular season, at least early on, before he kind of got rolling. Cardio Gabe. Well, we might have to start considering Cardio Conley now because that's all that he's doing right now. He's not really showing up. He's not being that leader. He's not showing up defensively. I mean, you have 0 steals. You're not really putting or contributing at all. You took 4 shots or 4 from the 3, 6 overall. You're 1 for 6. So you almost wonder, at what point are they going to start trying something new? Are they going to start inserting some of their younger guys, right? I mean, they literally just got Rob Dillingham, if I'm not mistaken, if not last draft, the draft before. Why is he not getting any burn? You got Dante DiVincenzo from the Knicks. He can play point guard. Why is he not getting more burn? Or just start him and then get Mike Conley, into the bench so that he can run more with the bench and affect the game a little bit better. I mean, there's certain ways that you can go about keeping Mike Conley happy and keeping his leadership that I have to believe is there still somehow, but it just hasn't been showing. And so I don't know. All I know is Mike Conley, he's not doing his thing. He used to be a floor general, but he's not really doing much of that right now. And so you got to wonder, if he's not being a floor general, if he's not affecting the game offensively, he's not affecting the game defensively, why is he really out there? I don't know. So I hope that, Minnesota is going to finally get a home game for game 3 in the next couple of days. Hopefully we can find a Mike Conley showing, because so far I ain't seen him yet. Even in the wins that they have in the postseason against the Lakers and the Warriors, haven't seen him really much yet. So you got to wonder, it's going to take a lot at this point for the Timberwolves to really actually show that they can compete with this Thunder team, because right now is looking is looking kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you get blown out the walls in game 1. This one, I mean, was hardly really a game. I would say, like, they did at some point get a 1 point lead, but it was nothing more than that. OKC throughout this game controlled the game. And again, this is I mean, if I'm not mistaken, let me look at the box score here. I mean, with the exception of the fourth quarter when the game was kind of already over, it was another game where they held Minnesota to less than 30 points every quarter. So defensively, this OKC team is crazy good. And they have so many options defensively that they could put on some of their guards and some of their main point of attack scorers, like a Julius Randle in this case. They can really do whatever they want. And that's the scary thing about this. But yeah, Mike Conley, man, I want to see more out of you, man. I got to. Like, 3 points from you. in 28 minutes, that's just not going to cut it. It's just not. Now enough about the Timberwolves. Let's go into the winning team box score because we saw a lot of great things from the Thunder in this case, which again, this is the reason why a lot of people believe that this Thunder team was going to go all the way to the finals. They have so much depth. The biggest story that I've noticed in this postseason that is starting to finally kind of get talked about, but not as much still, the emergence of Jalen Williams. We saw Jalen Williams not really do much last year in the postseason. He has completely changed the script this season. 26 points, 10 rebounds, plus 17. The last game, I'm pretty sure he had 5 steals and again was the second leading scorer overall. So when I'm looking at Jalen Williams, he really has been solidifying himself as that number two. It easily and arguably could have been Chet Holmgren, just from the simple fact that Chet, was I think he was like the number two, number three overall pick. He was in the running for rookie of the year. He's always been known as a really good player. And I don't know. I think a lot of people assumed it was going to be Chet, but Jalen Williams has consistently now really showing that he can be relied on, especially in those moments where maybe SGA doesn't have it going or SGA just needs a moment of rest and they can still keep that offense going through Jalen Williams without really skipping a beat. Not to mention, you see multiple times where he's it's so odd. Like you don't really hear about this guy's defensive prowess because they don't talk about it. It usually gets overlooked by Lou Dort, who shout out just got I think second team all defense. Congratulations to you, guy. But Jalen Williams, man, he's got the clamps. He's got the clamps. When he really is setting his mind to guard, he can do that. He's long, he's lengthy, he's got a long wingspan. He's really good with his footwork defensively. And again, the OKC team overall is really a defensive minded team. It's just they happen to have really good scorers, led by the best scorer in the league right now in SGA. And that's how they're able to just put a coffin in a lot of these teams with multiple double digit wins. It's insane. But for sure, Jalen Williams, man, shout out to you, guy. 26 points, 10 rebounds. I don't remember the last time you had a 25 and 10 game, but I mean, shoot, just the last game alone, you already kind of showed me, hey, it's not a fluke. I had a little questions in that last series against the Nuggets in game 6 when you didn't show up, and then the Nuggets ended up winning game 6, forcing a game 7. But you did amend yourself in that game 7 by really showing up and showing out to take that win. And it's just been translating. I almost feel like that game 7 really gave Jalen Williams a really great deal of confidence for him to be able to carry into the Western Conference. But yeah, man, I mean, let's just keep it a stack. The real reason why this team won is because SGA. I know I just went on that rant about why people don't like OKC, and a lot of it's because SGA's foul baiting ways. But again, if you take the foul baiting ways, the griffing ways away, the free throw ways away, it, this man being able to just do what he does. I mean, 38 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, plus 25. Yes, he did almost foul out, but again, by the time he even picked up that 5th foul, the game was already over. But SGA had an amazing, well-balanced game today. He was able to literally just do what he needed to do. He took care of everything, and it started from the very start. Unlike game one, he actually was 3 for 11 in that first half, and he finished the game 10 for 27. Not a good shooting outing. He still had a good amount of free throws. I believe he was like 11 for 14, if I'm not mistaken. In this game, I mean, look at the box score, 38 points. He was efficient, 12 for 21, 1 for 2 from 3. But golly, man, 15 free throw attempts. 15. 13 for 15, but 15 free throws. Arguably could have had more. I think that the refs were actually, in some ways, trying to like not make it so obvious that they're going to give this man calls. And you know what's funny? I knew that this was going to happen the moment that they showed the MVP ceremony to SGA. I knew they were not going to lose this game, and I knew he was going to get his ass back on that free throw line because there's no way that they're going to have Adam Silver out there giving the MVP award to the free throw merchant himself, and then let this game not be determined the way that it's been always determined all year long, which is him being led at the free throw line. Um, but man, I mean, outside of that, like I said, he had a great game overall. There were some really good timely buckets that he had. As soon as you saw the Timberwolves go on a little bit of a run, you could see him hit timely mid-range shots. You could see him attacking the basket. You could see him dishing it pretty well. He made really smart passes at the times that they needed to. He did a really good job. Um, and again, man, like I said, OKC, they are doing their thing. But it looks like we have ourselves a guest appearance that I was not expecting at all. He just popped up on us while we was doing this thing. And I gotta say, man, it is good to see you, my brother. How we doing, Russ? How we feeling, man?
Oh man, here we go. My quality might not be as good, but I had to hop on. I hopped on YouTube and I saw you going live, and I was like, you know what? I just gotta hop in here and say, oh man, Thunder winning tonight is a win for America tonight.
Hey, man.
No,
Hey, while we got you, tell us what you saw, man. What did you see in this game? How'd you think it go? Did you think it got a little bit better compared to game one? What did you like? What did you not like about this showing?
I can't lie to you guys. I was at the ocean with my kids. I was not able to watch the game, but I could already tell you, I already knew that the Thunder would be up by 20.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it was crazy. Here,
I
shout out to our boy Jeff here. Hold on, he's got a. I want to go ahead and read this real quick. He said, "Fun fact: SJ averages less free throws than the last 29 MVP winners." Really? I might have to look that stat up because I really did not know that. I did not know that. All I know is, even if that is the case, it's how they're getting those free throws.
yeah,
That's the problem.
the
Because
one
I
thing
guarantee you, a lot of those free throws that they're getting, okay, it's in the flow of the game. SGA getting his free throws during like the way he's getting them. Oh no, I don't got time for that. That's not even debatable.
but the crazy thing to think about though is those stats are kind of skewed because SGA is a product of the post Harden referee calling the way they used to. They used to call it way more often on the ones where you'd lock like the player who had the ball would like raise their arms up as soon as they felt a hand. So it's like SGA getting these fouls now after the whole referee calling has been changed, and the referee calling and fouling has been down ever since they changed it because of the Trae Young and the Hardens of the world. So imagine what SGA would have gotten before that. But another thing to think about is SGA is he figuring out a loophole? Because before it was the players were moving their arms to get foul calls. Now is he creating? I know there was always flopping, but is he now finding the loophole into foul baiting by falling like I don't know, creating contact and falling a certain way? Like I just don't get it. Like what is it that makes SGA get all these calls? Because it doesn't look so bad in the game as it doesn't look so crazy to me. Yeah, I feel like he's getting more foul calls, but what are you guys seeing that he's doing to create these fouls? That's my question.
No, that's a great point because to be honest with you, you could have said it no better than that. That's the reason why I'm just sitting here like when I'm watching the game, right? As an outside fan, I'm not a fan of either team, right? I'm a Laker fan. Okay. I don't really care who wins this matchup. As long as it's somebody in the East that wins the finals, I'm good. Okay. But when I'm watching this game subjectively and I'm seeing how SGA is getting these fouls, that's the bothersome part. It's not that he's getting fouled, it's how he's drawing the contact. And a lot of us, I remember those days when James Harden was literally foul baiting and how everybody couldn't stand James Harden. He had a label about this stuff, right? And it's still a label that maybe not a lot of people talk about anymore these days because the league literally changed the rules because of what James Harden was doing. But now it's almost like they made the exception SGA. Like I didn't know we were making an exception from the whole Harden fiasco that we just dealt with. Um, I thought that we were finally done as fans. I thought that we were finally in a position where we could just sit here and enjoy good quality basketball, offense, defense, the whole thing without having to worry about seeing some piss poor foul baiting. And I thought that that was over with James Harden. But apparently, like I said, they're making an exception with SGA. It is what it is. I just pray to God that we don't see this in the finals because I swear to you, the NBA wants to know why the ratings are down. You're not helping doing this. I'm going to just keep it a stack. You're not helping by literally allowing the excuse my language, the fuckery that's going on right now by making the viewers have to see the way that they're officiating these OKC games. Like, I need to see more balance. And the weirdest thing too, like I'm gonna actually pull up the box score here, Russ, because I think this is the part that's the most interesting. If we go to the team stuff here, give me a second here, because I noticed this pretty quickly. Same thing with the last game. If you look at the team free throws from the Wolves to the Thunder, you would never have guessed the Wolves took 2 more free throws than the Thunder. You would have never guessed that.
What in the hell, Burton?
You would have never guessed that the Timberwolves actually took 2 more free throws than the Thunder. It's because
what in the
again,
hell,
it's because again, how these free throws are being called and when they're being called, that's the difference.
Yes, 100%. It's like people who are like, a team gets blown out by like, let's just say 30, and then the game ends by, the game ends and their lead was only like 10. Well, it's because garbage time, it kind of skews it, but like same thing with the fouls. Like you call the fouls in the crucial moments, it's really bad. But then at the end of the game, they sneak those fouls to even it out at the end. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a game where a player gets 2 quick fouls, and I know that the player is trying to not foul anymore if they stay in the game with 2 fouls early. But like it's almost like the referees like almost let things slide a little bit for certain players by not calling that extra foul because they're like, oh well, shoot, we kind of effed up. We didn't mean to, because the refs can't count all the fouls all at the same time. But it's crazy to me. I mean, it's just like you were saying, the foul calls are in Thunder's favor the whole game, and then at the end of the game, it seems like they're all evened out without you even noticing, and it's just like, that's not the same game I watched. But there's those box score warriors, man. They be watching it. Hey, if we get a Knicks, just saying, I know the Knicks lost game 1, but if we get a Knicks Thunder final, who gets more free throws? Jalen Brunson or free throw merchant finals, man.
I swear, bro, if we get a free throw merchant final,
nobody's watching the finals.
I am taking off for the summer early. If I see this trash type of finals from the Knicks and the Thunder, I'm done, bro. I might have to literally clock out early. I'll see you guys during Summer League, which is here in Vegas. So yeah, I'm good. I hope we don't see that. Just so you guys know though, Russ, he thinks it's gonna be Knicks in 6. Me, I got Pacers in 6. I do know that my guy Jeff here, who yes, it's always Laker Nation, always, baby. I saw your comment. I do know my boy Jeff here, he believes it's Pacers in 5. That's some real big confidence. I don't know if I'm gonna go that far. I'm gonna put some respect on the Knicks at least, but I do think that I think that we might end up seeing a OKC Pacers small market finals. It may not be the best for ratings, quote unquote, but at the same time, I'm cool with it because you know what this really shows us, Russ? It shows us that at the end of the day, man, like I'm just a fan of good quality basketball. Okay. And good quality basketball, sometimes it's just the best team. Sometimes you just want to see the better team, the better 2 teams duke it out, go, 1 for 1 with each other. And if that ends up being the Pacers, oh, hold up. If it ends up being the Pacers as well as the Thunder, I'm cool with it. As long as it's some good, clean basketball, I don't really care who makes it. Because at the end of the day, if it's not my Lakers, I don't really care who wins. As long as it's not the Boston Celtics, as long as it's not the Denver Nuggets, as long as it's not the Phoenix Suns. If it's not any team that's basically dogged the Lakers or bullied the Lakers or disrespected the Lakers in the last 5 years or lifetime, I don't care who wins. If it's the Timberwolves, if it's the Pacers, if it's the Knicks, if it's OKC, I don't care, right? I'm going to be subjective. But at the same time, I'm a fan. I want to see some good, clean basketball. And if I can't see some good, clean basketball, I don't want to deal with it. All right. Real quick, we're going to end here on this note. Something I noticed as well with this game, man. I don't know what it is about the Timberwolves in these 3-point attempts, but I almost feel like them going up against the Warriors was like really bad for them from the standpoint that they I almost feel like they're like the Warriors. Like they almost feel like they're still trying to play against the Warriors, chucking up threes just to match their threes when that's not the case at all. They're playing a totally different opponent, and this opponent can beat you in multiple different ways, which means you have to have multiple different ways of being able to stop this team as well as score on this team. And they seem unsure of themselves, which is not a good sign. It makes me a little nervous. I think we're closer to seeing OKC win in 5 than we are to seeing the Minnesota Timberwolves force a game 6 or 7, because that's really their only hope. You're already down 2. So your real hope is to make this a 6 or 7 game series at this point. If you can't, well, you're going home early. And I mean, I'm not going to say there's any shame in that, but at the same time, there is, because you guys literally just made it to the conference finals last season and you went home in 5-2. We thought this was that year that you guys would be able to finally take that extra step forward. Let's see if we're right. Let's see if we're wrong. At the end of the day, you guys do have at least 2 more home games. Let's see you guys make those proper adjustments. The turnovers in this game looked a lot better, but still not good enough. 14 turnovers compared to OKC's 8, not good. I think you guys had 17 turnovers in game 1. That's just, you got to do better. And again, like we saw, the largest lead you guys had was a 2-point lead. OKC's was 24. Like, you're getting outclassed and outmatched right now, something that you guys are doing a lot early in this postseason against the Lakers as well as against the Warriors. So I don't know. You guys got to do something. Got to do something. Anyways, you guys, that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you once again for tuning in to Russ and Vince Courtside Podcast. Again, we are going to be doing more lives as well as putting out more videos. So if you guys are not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and turn the notification bell on. That way, whenever we are live, you guys will be notified moving forward. Just figured out how to do that. Other than that, leave a comment down below as well. What was your take on this game? Did you have fun watching it? Was it kind of boring? Do you kind of feel how I feel at the end, where I kind of just think like, let me just watch the Eastern Conference at this point, because the Eastern Conference for the first time in a while is more exciting than the West. Like at this point, I'd rather just, okay, OKC's going to win. What's going on over here with the Pacers and Knicks? Let us know in the comment section down below who you think is going to make the finals between OKC and the Timberwolves. And also, what do you think about the refereeing? Are we going to have more problems, or are we going to be good? Either way, you guys, I appreciate your time. If you enjoy the video, hit a like. And that is going to
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Russ and Vince Courtside Podcast, where we bring you the hottest NBA moments, discussions, and everything in between. If you like today's show, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a Courtside Podcast again.